Hey guys, Scott here. So Behavior hinted at some new game modes finally in their player satisfaction survey. Obviously, their AMA was a very big miss, as usual with those AMAs, but this shows that they have given at least a significant thought to alternative game modes. However, there's good and bad with this. Because there are so many ideas here, it indicates they're actually finally giving this the attention it deserves. I and many other people have been saying for years the way you keep people invested in the game is having a separate game mode. There's only so many times we can do the same gameplay loop, no pun intended, with the base game mechanics. And so people that have been playing for a while need a new type of game mode, and that would keep them interested, and that would actually probably bring a lot of people back if there was some other type of game mode. Again, it wouldn't have to be like a ranked thing. Maybe you can get blood points, maybe you don't, but it wouldn't necessarily be the main game. It would just be like, the custom server browser you have in Counter-Strike or something like that. Just something additional to what the game already offers, so people can take a break from the monotony of the standard game and go do something else for a while. It keeps people in Dead by Daylight longer, which drives up retention, drives up sales for Behavior. It's just a win-win for everybody. So it definitely seems like something they should do, and it does seem like they've actually started giving it some thought now. Now, the bad side to this is because there are so many ideas, they clearly they're just prototyping. They haven't started working on anything yet. So if this ends up happening, it's not going to be something that happens for minimum on Behavior time, a year. So it's cool that they're finally giving this attention. I feel like they should have started this path years and years ago so we would actually have it by now. But yeah, that's the good and the bad. A lot of ideas, but that also means they're just ideas. They're not actively working on like 8 different game modes. There's just no way. But I wanted to take a look at the game modes that they suggested and go over which ones would be great, which ones would be not so great. Starting with Deceivers, it's literally just Among Us. It's a tried and true formula. I played Trouble in Terrorist Town for God knows how many hours in Gary's mod. It is a very, very fun type of mode. I'm not sure how it would work in DBD, and that seems like it would take a ton of additional effort to make, so much so I almost don't want them to do this because of how much effort it would take. It would need entirely new like camera angles for the, like kicking them off the ship type thing. Like I can just think of like so many more simple, fun things they can do than adding that type of mode. Again, it would be really fun, but that seems like it would take a lot of work, and Behavior is not known for working fast. I would rather have something simple sooner than something really complicated and convoluted, but good, and have to wait 3 years for it, So that seems like it'd be too complicated for Behavior. Comes off of an insult, but I mean, we've seen how slow they are with doing stuff. Swap perspectives. Now, this sounds like something that would be very easy. Just change the base camera location. It's a little bit more complicated, though, because survivors don't necessarily have a first-person view of their own model. Something you have to keep in mind with game design is that when you're designing a first-person, you're not actually putting the camera right like at the same spot where their eyes would be. So you have to kind of modify the model of whatever you're using to make it look a lot more, conjoined. Otherwise, you'll have like, usually the camera is like in the chest of whatever character is being played, and that can cause lots of issues depending on the various models and stuff like that. So that would be among the easier things to do, but it would be harder or easier than Among Us. I just wanted to make that joke. God, that was terrible. But yeah, that'd be interesting for a little while, but not super deep, so pretty low on priority. Zombie tag. A random survivor is picked to be the killer. Down a player to swap roles. Once a survivor turns into a killer, they don't turn back. Keep playing. There's only one survivor left. So there's been a lot of zombie game modes like this before. And again, it's a very tried and true formula. It's very, very fun. Basically, the last one standing, the last human is going to be the winner. And I can imagine that getting chaotic as shit. Because this is going to be like 7 killers chasing like 2 survivors at the end. And the last one left. Obviously, you're not going to last very long, but I could see that being extremely funny and chaotic. So that type of mode, again, I've played it in other modes before. I played that in, Tower Unite. That mode is always really, really funny. So I think that would be great. That would be extremely fun and one of the highest priority modes, just because of how chaotic it would be. Bum Rush. More generators spawn on maps. Everyone moves at double the speed. Survivors have 3 lives, which they revive after a 20-second timer. I assume that means when they get down, they would just lose a life. Yeah, I'm not sure how that would be. That just seems sort of like a low effort, whatever one. Sure, whatever, but not high on the priority. 2v8. I mean, yeah, this is something we've been asking for 4 years now. 2v8, I think, would be incredibly fun. Finally getting to play Killer with my friends would be just, oh my God. I would actually willingly play this game off stream for fun again if that was the case. It would be so fun. Now, interestingly, they said hooks would be removed, but cages of atonement prevail, which means they've actually given thought to it and realized that if you have to still hook survivors, it might get complicated because of the amount of hook spawns. You imagine 7 people body blocking a hook. Like, they could be a little complicated there. So making it so you can just cage everyone like Pyramid Head by default, I think is a great idea and something that I never really even thought of in the 2v8 mode. So that would be awesome, and I think that's an awesome idea. 2v8, I think, has the highest priority. I think that's the thing people would find the most fun. Getting to play Killer with your friends would be amazing. Luck of the draw. This is really easy because they've already done it. It's in the game. Start the game with randomized perks and items. They literally have already coded that into the game with the archives and stuff like that. This would take them a very short amount of time to add. So of all the most realistic things to add, that one, they could whip that shit up in a week. So that could be something they could do, but not super exciting, but different. Finally, something different. Giant sizes are altered. Killers are giants while survivors become tiny. I mean, that could just be funny for the hilarity of it, but it's still the same base game. So it'd be funny for like the, oh my God, XD factor, but it wouldn't last super long. Hide and seek, I am the least enthused for. I hope they never add hide and seek. Hide and seek is my least favorite part about playing Killer. When you have a full team of distortion people just crouching at the edge of the map, oh God, I want to die. So please never add that. That just incentivizes that more and more. Yeah, I definitely don't want that. Now, 5v5 sounds really interesting, and I would put this basically on the 2v8 tier and the zombie mode tier in terms of like potential fun. So it would be 2 teams with 4 survivors and 1 killer on a big-ass map, I would assume, and they'd basically be fighting for control of total generator progress in sort of a tug-of-war manner. And that will depend how well the killers do in stopping survivors from working on gens, and the other team will combat that as well. That could be really interesting. I think that would have a whole crazy meta of play. I don't even know what you would do there, but the fact that it's got me thinking about ideas in my free time is exciting and indicative that it seems like it'd be a fun thing. So that would be awesome. VIP, when the obsession is killed, everybody dies. Only the obsession can open the gates for everyone. This, I think, would be an incredibly infuriating, but also pretty fun mode where it's probably RNG who gets VIP. And if you get the rank 20 meg who gets it, you're just going to be shit out of luck. There's only so much you can do to protect a player that just does not know how to survive. But I do think that could be really fun queuing with your friends and trying to keep them alive. I've done that before in just custom matches before, and it's a lot of fun. So that could definitely be fun. And I don't know why luck of the draw is twice here. But tag, finally, a random survivor's pick to be killer. You down a player to swap roles, survive for 5 minutes, and escape. That could be fun too. A lot of these sound like pretty decent. 5v5, 2v8, and the zombie modes sound like really, really fun. And I would want them to focus on one of those at first. But I think the most important thing is we get something tangible soon, you know? And if it's going to take them, 2 years to work on an Among Us mode, I don't even want it. I don't know if I've even been playing the game in 2 years, like, is the kind of thing. So it's hard to say. I wish they would just, like, throw in luck of the draw just as a prototype to show that they're starting to actually do stuff. Because saying stuff is nice, but we all know Behavior. They say a lot of stuff, but they're very, very slow at doing things to the point where I want there to still be a player base left when they actually release these awesome modes that, in theory, sound amazing and sound like something that will make the game last for several more years. I've always thought this game will die a very slow bleed-out death. It's not going to have like a day where it just dies like that. It's just going to just slowly go down a player base, go a little bit up. It's basically like an addiction to a drug. When you get a new killer, you're going to get your big highs. And then when you get another new killer, it's going to be high again. And then when you get another new killer, it goes up a bit. And then you're to a point where a new killer will come out and you're just like, all right, whatever. Let's see what he does for a couple of days. And now I'm off of the game again. So doing this is crucial to extending the life of the game. This is like just switching up the entire formula. And then I'll make people play for a lot longer. So yes, this is good that they're thinking about this, but the most important part, whatever they choose, please start actually doing it. Don't just talk about it. Please actually do the thing. And I can't even imagine how many more people will play your game and retain their interest in the game. So it's only beneficial to Behavior and everybody else. It's only a good thing. So please actually do it and get on it soon.